his body.
Definitely.
Hey, Malu. Malusada. A Wellington tem tudo enrolado já. E a Wellington. That's athletic life. You train, then you're gonna walk with the dogs, you know. It's the balance. Right, guys, this was a day on Pedro Marinho's life. Right, in the morning you train, you lift some weights, eat, and now after the training relax, go around with the dogs, right, have some family time. Now rest, and night we're gonna teach and train some wrestling. Let's go. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it.
Meregali versus Marinho, brought to you by Fat Tire. We have an exciting night of action tonight. We have no gi matches, and of course, our heavyweight gi title match. Ricardo Amendolia here. We're going to be calling the action and presenting to you these matches here with Mr. Jake Watson and Kendo Rusing. We have an exciting night of action. Jake Watson, what do you think about tonight?
Oh my goodness, you know, Pedro Marinho called for the main event after his last victory where he retained his light heavyweight title. I know that it's going to be an incredible night of matches. We have the two prelims opening up. We have the crazy night of undercard matches. Kendall, how do you feel about tonight? Because I don't know if you can tell, but I'm very excited.
Well, not only do we have an amazing night of jiu-jitsu planned, but we are here in Oklahoma City for the very first time. Who's Number One is here in OKC. We have never been in this part of the country before. As you guys can hear, we have a huge crowd here to support us. Not only are they stoked to watch the card in general, but also there are a lot of local athletes here as well. So I'm super, super excited to see some new faces for everyone at home, and we're stoked to be here.
All right, we got some new faces on the Who's Number One stage. We have veterans, and we have an exciting main card. Let's take a look at all the matches for tonight. As we mentioned, the main event will be a gi match. First time we've had a gi main event at Who's Number One for quite some time now. We got Nicholas Meregali, the king of gi jiu-jitsu, taking on Pedro Marinho, who's the actual no-gi light heavyweight Who's Number One champion. Then in our co-main event, Elder Cruz from Checkmat Jiu-Jitsu takes on the legend, Oklahoma City's own Rafael Lovato Jr. In our women's match of the evening, we have Alex Enriquez versus Amanda Aliquin. Then we have the Australian Ironman, Isaac Michelle versus the Hillbilly Hammer, Jacob Couch. And making his 155-pound debut, Dante Leon will face Ruan Alvarenga. And to kick things off on the main card, we have William Tackett returning to Who's Number One against Francisco Lowe.
Not only an amazing main card here full of some exciting matches, but we also have a really, really awesome prelim 2 matches coming up here that are free on YouTube and Facebook before we jump back to FloGrappling.com.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, coming onto the undercard, we're actually seeing Davis Asare for the first time on the Who's Number One stage. He's been making waves, ADCC Costa Mesa Open champion, as well as this really interesting rivalry going on between Austin Oranday. And I think that those two who are Austin Oranday and Troy Russell are going against each other. They've, man, had back and forth battles. I'm super excited for that as well.
Yeah, that's going to be a great match, especially because of their history, but I'm especially interested in OKC's Nick Heflin, who is a little bit newer to the grappling world, doesn't have quite as many grappling fans, but as you guys can hear, we've got tons of fans in the building. He's an amazing wrestler. We can see them warming up here in the back. He's an amazing wrestler, has some big wins in that community, and I think he's looking to make some waves in the grappling world tonight.
All right, so that's our prelims. After the prelims finish, we'll be going to the main pay-per-view or subscription on FloGrappling.com, so you'll be watching it for free on YouTube and Facebook. Then we'll go to the main card. Now let's talk about a couple of the main card matches. From top to bottom, the ones that everyone are talking about, the main event. We got Nicholas Meregali against Pedro Marinho. Nicholas Meregali making waves, destroying everyone at the IBJJF Pan Ams, the self-proclaimed king of jiu-jitsu who wants to make the gi great again, Jake Watson.
You know what? Nicholas Meregali has every merit to say something like that. He's coming into this match with a gi submission rate of 69%, and 44% of those, Ricardo Amendolia, are coming by choke from the back, and he's never been submitted at black belt, so definitely a tall task for Pedro Marinho tonight, but he's got the confidence for it.
Yeah, I think he has the confidence. He's also dangerous from everywhere, but I want to talk a little bit about Pedro, obviously, because when we come into this match, we can't forget that even though he is the current light heavyweight champion here at Who's Number One, Pedro Marinho is also a decorated athlete in the gi from all the belts up until black. And so if there's anybody that can do it with Nicholas Meregali, I think that's who it's going to be.
Yeah, and asking some of the athletes to face Nicholas Meregali, we asked a couple names. Not too many volunteered for the match, but Pedro Marinho said, I'm going to be the guy to dethrone the king. He accepted the match. Pedro Marinho, very exciting competitor, a submission hunter, and if anyone has a chance to potentially tap Nicholas Meregali, I think it could be Pedro.
And I'm interested too in the idea that when in the press conference he was saying, look, there's no pressure on me. Nicholas has built up this big game. He's been talking about how dominant he's going to be, how it's going to be a vacation. Of course, he added the respect in there too, but he did mention that. And then Pedro's like, look, man, it's a great opportunity for me. I'm going to make my career.
That's it.
Certainly a great way to headline the show, but right underneath that, Rafael Lovato Jr. and Elder El Monstro Cruz. Certainly a gap in experience there, but definitely not a gap in tenacity. Rafael is absolutely looking to put on a show in front of this crowd here in Oklahoma City, his own backyard even, and I think that it's really going to be an interesting tale of wrestling here tonight.
Yeah, when we think about Lovato, we know he's dangerous from everywhere. I love that he said that he's not doing really well with the retirement deal because, quite frankly, we love to see him back here on the mats any chance that we get. So he's here to do it at Who's Number One. He has an incredible, he used the word inspiration tonight with his big team in the audience and also with his Six Blades crew, Shanji Ribeiro in his corner, everybody coming up from Texas. And with that inspiration, El Monstro did mention that, he's not fighting the entire crowd tonight. He's just fighting one man, so he's looking to make a statement of his own.
And, what a statement it will be if El Monstro could possibly submit Rafael Lovato Jr. or defeat him here in Oklahoma. To be a legend, you got to defeat a legend, and that's what El Monstro wants to do. He's not afraid to take it to Lovato, as he mentioned in the press conference. So we shall see. El Monstro's got amazing wrestling. He's Lucas Leite style jiu-jitsu from Checkmat. He's got it all. What do you think of that matchup, Jake?
It was really interesting in the press conference. El Monstro did say he recognizes that he has a low submission rate so far at black belt, but he said very boldly he's looking to submit Rafael Lovato Jr. That kind of intensity coming into a match like this just shows that we might have a fight of the night on our hands here.
Well, and not only that, but El Monstro is really seasoned with trying to out-wrestle and compete against people who are bigger, stronger, taller. So even though there's a bit of a height difference here, there's a bit of clearly an experience advantage. We mentioned how El Monstro's coach, Lucas Leite, actually fought Lovato back in the day, right? So it's a little bit of a shift in the generational experience here. So El Monstro definitely has some secret game plans coming in, and I'm excited to see what he has in store for us.
And one of the other matches on the card that, I'm particularly looking forward to, as I mentioned earlier, we have the Australian Ironman, Isaac Michel, versus the Hillbilly Hammer, Jacob Couch. This is going to be fireworks. Isaac Michel, he's got wrestling, he's got leg locks. Jacob Couch, he's got it all. What do you think about this one, Jake Watson?
The inaugural Who's Next champion, Isaac Michel. Definitely an interesting team switch recently to Brazilian Fight Factory down there with who else is fighting on the card, William Tackett. Those guys are so knowledgeable and they're concrete in their game planning. I think that's going to be interesting. But Jacob Couch, man, he's been on a tear. He's very consistent, and he's a Who's Number One veteran as well. Very dangerous competitor. It's every fight on this card is fireworks, Ricardo.
And And it's nice to think about, too, that both of these athletes are really working their way up into becoming title contenders. They're looking for title shots. This could be one of those matches that makes or breaks the next step in their career for what we see on Who's Number One. And so when we think about Jacob Couch, he has been someone to fulfill matches before and last-minute chances. He made a big name for himself at the Who's Number One championships, and now he's been, dominantly working his way towards the top. So we'll see if he can beat Isaac Michel to get a next shot.
And Jacob Couch actually has probably some of the most matches ever in Who's Number One history. And as you mentioned, he stepped up a lot of times last minute, but this is a chance for him to kind of look for that title contention here tonight against Isaac Michel.
And not only do we have those matches, but we have another really exciting match on the card between Alex Enriquez and Amanda Alekhine, otherwise known as Tubby. These ladies are firecrackers. They had a match recently, but it was in a rule set where there was a short win by an advantage. And in our rule set here tonight, we obviously don't have the opportunity to see that happen. Now, with both of these athletes being really submission-oriented, I think that could steal a fight of the night away. I think that that's going to be a really, really good one. And we also have Gordon Ryan in the house with us.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the greatest Nogi submission grappler of all time, Gordon Ryan.
What's up, guys?
So,
how you guys doing?
So, Gordon, we have a couple questions for you, obviously.
Okay,
that's why you're here. So, first of all, you got two teammates on the card. So, when I was talking to Asare yesterday, we talked a little bit about how his claim to fame has become submitting you in competition. We've seen, not in competition, in training.
Competition, not yet.
Let's clear that up. And not yet. He submitted you in training, right? And what he told me yesterday is that he's really looking to move his branding away from that. He wants to be well known for something else. So talk to us a little bit about what we can expect to see from him tonight and maybe what he will become known for.
Yeah, so Davis doesn't like to use social media, and I posted that he was the first person to ever strangle me unconscious. And he's like, this is the worst thing anyone's ever done to me. He got like 12,000 followers overnight, and he's like, man, I don't even want to use social media. I'm like, you have to now, man, you're famous.
You actually went out. Like you went
I went out. It was
out.
the first time I ever been strangled unconscious, yeah.
Wow.
I was like practicing Darce defenses, and then I remember tapping, and then I just looked at him, and I was like, oh man, I was unconscious. And he's like, oh, he started laughing, and he's like, please don't kill me. I was like, it was my fault, I should have just tapped. No, he's super tough. He's developing a very good standing game. His Darce is on fire. His bottom game is good. His passing is amazing. His timing, everything about his game is just developing very, very well. And he's getting a lot more comfortable competing. And tonight's his first night on the big stage, so I'm looking forward to seeing how he performs.
And what can we expect in a match with someone who's such a competent wrestler? What is Asare's game going to look like tonight?
I think he likes to wrestle, so he can go out there. I see him he either goes out and he plays a standing game and tries to wrestle him, and I think that if he sees it not going his way, he can sit to guard and play a game and wrestle up, or we'll see. But I think that he's confident wrestling with guys. I've seen him compete against good wrestlers at the ADCC Open I was at, and he takes it to guys. This is a different level of wrestling, but I'm interested to see how he adapts to this.
And then obviously moving to Meregali, okay, another teammate. We got our only gi match of the night, our title fight. What can we expect from the man who's trying to make the gi great again? What are we going to see tonight?
Yes, first of all, everyone hates this guy, but he's literally single-handedly saving the gi. He's headlining Who's Number One in the main event in a gi match. So, he's going to come out, and right now there's nobody in the world better than Meregali in the gi. And hats off to Pedro. Pedro just wants to fight everybody. He called out Meregali, he called out me. He calls out Craig. He calls out everybody who wants to fight gi or no gi. So you can't really take it away anything from Pedro because he wants to go out and fight the best guys. So I think it's going to be a really interesting match. Pedro's going to come forward towards him. Meregali's been working on wrestling a lot, so I don't know if he's going to go out and pull guard like he normally does, or if he's going to
try to gi, to be clear.
Oh, he's just been wrestling.
In general.
Okay. I don't know. He hasn't been doing too much judo, but he's doing a lot of standing wrestling without the gi. So I'm curious to see what his game plan is here, and if he comes out and wrestles, or if he sits and plays his normal game. So it's going to be a war either way. Pedro's always a gamer. He's super tough. Very hard to smother tap, as they know. I'm still sour about that. But you have to really put Pedro away in order to finish him. So I'm very excited for this.
Gordon, I got to ask you, you've made many predictions here on the Who's Number One stage before. If you could make a prediction for Meregali in this match, how's it going to go down? How's it going to be finished?
I think Meregali's been working a lot on his triangles. So I see him, coming out, getting to top position, and then finding ways to go into probably either mounted arm bars, which I think is his best move, or taking the back and going in for some kind of triangle or triangle arm bar transition and finishing with a triangle.
Well, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Who's Number One has a unique rule set. FloGrappling's very own Reed Connor will lead you through the rules.
Welcome to Who's Number One, the premier proving ground for the world's best grapplers. And now right here on this very stage, 2 grapplers will enter and only one will leave victorious. All matches are 15 minutes in length, except where otherwise noted, with no points, no advantages, and no interruptions. Just elite competitive grappling. There are 2 ways to win. The first is, of course, the most preferred, by submission. And here at Who's Number One, all submissions are legal. Heel hooks, arm bars, twisters, and beyond, the world's best have all the tools at their disposal. And if at any point either competitor taps, the match is over. But if there isn't a submission, we will rely on 3 neutral side judges to determine a winner. Their decision will be based on our Who's Number One judging criteria, which is unique to this mat. Now, above all, we are looking for aggression. That means never taking a backward step and moving forward at all costs. We're looking for dangerous submission attacks. That means attempts that will result in a near submission, okay? Leave your 50-50 ankle locks at home. We don't need them. And if it doesn't result in a reaction or a hyperextension, they simply won't count. And finally, positional control. That means guard passes, mount, back takes, anything that leads to positional dominance. The match will be judged in its entirety, and the person with the better display of effective grappling skill will get their hand raised. The referee is also neutral and does not take part in the judge's decisions. His role is purely to control the action on the mats and reset the action should it go out of bounds. This is elite grappling competition at its purest form. A showcase for the world's best grapplers on the world's biggest stage. Just the best fighting the best. It's the only way to truly find out who's number one.
Gentlemen, and welcome to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. To all the fans here at the Criterion and all the fans watching live on FloGrappling, we are ready! Tonight's Tezos Who's Number One, presented by Fat Tire, features 8 matches with 16 of the best grapplers in the world. Let's go! We are set to begin the show with our undercard. So let's go with the first match. Out of the blue corner, training out of Austin, Texas, representing New Wave, Davis Asare.
Davis Asare makes his way to the Who's Number One mats. This is his debut. A lot of buzz around this young man.
Yes, one of the newest additions to New Wave Jiu-Jitsu there out of Austin, Texas. Davis Asare racked up a lot of accolades, most recently winning the 80cc Costa Mesa Open, and the sky's the limit for this guy. Can't wait to see what he does here tonight.
Out of the red corner, training right here in Oklahoma City, representing Lovato Jiu-Jitsu, Nick Heflin.
Oklahoma's own Nick Heflin is in the house, the wrestling coach at Team Lovato. He's got quite the crowd here, getting him pumped up for this match.
Yeah, the room has come alive as they cheer on their own here in Oklahoma City. Nick Heflin, a lot of wrestling experience, still relatively new to the submission grappling and jiu-jitsu game. Let's see what tricks he has up his sleeve.
All right, let's take a look at this middleweight tale of the tape. Davis Asare, 21 years old, 6 foot, 185 pounds. His opponent, Nick Heflin, 33 years old, 6 foot, 186 even.
Okay, the show is on you, guys.
And there we see our list of officials tonight. Vinny Agudo in the middle.
Little by little, little by little.
And we are ready to go here at WNO. Ricardo, strap in, buddy. Let's get this thing going.
Yeah, here we go. Davis Asare versus Nick Heflin. Guys, Ricardo Amendolia here, joined by Mr. Chase Smith of FloGrappling, and we are in for an exciting clash of styles here. Nick Heflin, the wrestler, getting attacked right now by Davis Asare.
Asare has a nasty straight ankle lock, as you can see him wasting no time going for that. Nice job for Nick to scramble out of that.
Yeah, it was. You notice Nick right away grabbed the head, was able to come on top, and got his foot out immediately. Once again, we're here at the Criterion in Oklahoma City. This has been a fast-paced match for these opening seconds here, Chase.
No time.
Yeah.
I do like Nick's reactions here to Asare right now, slowing things down, starting to try and work for a body lock. You know, close guard, that can kind of tedious work there, but slows down the submission game we've seen so far from Asare.
Yeah, and you know that Davis has a lot of hype going in. You know, coming into this match, just ADCC Open winner, obviously training partner of Gordon Ryan. So we know that he's got leg locks. It's just a well-rounded submission game. So Heflin on top doing a great job. Kind of entered into the close guard, but he's trying to change things up a little bit, not letting Davis get under him so he can attack those legs once again.
Yeah, Heflin has a lot of wrestling accolades throughout his career. Big Ten champion, NCAA finalist. He's a World's Team alternate. And as we might have mentioned there, the head coach, wrestling coach at Lovato Jiu-Jitsu, and I believe coaching at Oklahoma University. So a lot of experience on the feet. I think Asare knew that coming into this, though, and decided to take things directly to the mat.
Well, guard pulling is not a crime, so I think Davis did a really good job of, getting the match right to the ground, pulled guard right away, attacked those legs, and now he's got him in his close guard. So we should look for Davis to be utilizing a lot of that John Danaher, close guard system. We've seen that with Gordon Ryan in the past, and I think Heflin's got to be careful because he doesn't want to stay in this position too long, otherwise he's going to keep getting, penalties from the referee, but he's doing a good job of kind of controlling from the top right now.
Reach for it, no problem. High step as soon as it opens.
Okay, Asare has open the guard.
Yeah, there he is on that leg, and Heflin trying to counterattack with a little leg lock action of himself.
Looked like maybe a cheeky look at an steamer lock there. Yeah. Nice work to keep things open, creative. Not let Asare settle into any positions here.
And this is where he's got to really cross his T's and dot his I's in that little pocket there. And it's no coincidence that he's doing that hopping guillotine to sort of disrupt Asare's leg entries and not allowing him to get underneath him. So kind of an unorthodox way to bypass the guard there with the rolling guillotine. But man, props to Heflin there.
Yeah, I like the aggression, but it's put him in a tough spot. A lot of wrestlers do not want to be on their back ever, even if they're doing 10 years in jiu-jitsu, and I believe he's done less than 10 months. So you can see maybe a little bit of apprehension here. He's definitely holding onto that neck and making things uncomfortable with that chin strap, but Asare, I believe, is very happy now to be on top and start working his passing.
Heflin doing a great job of framing and recovering the guard there. He's able to recover back to the half guard. Asare was passed temporarily, and Heflin's got that half guard back now. It looked like Asare was on a little bit of single leg himself, and he was like, oh yeah, I forgot. This guy's a good wrestler. I'm going to sit.
Still, I think that's a minor success there, or maybe a minor win for Nick Heflin to get back to his feet, get back to top position. A lot of people struggle there against someone of Asare's caliber. So strong work and going back to the well here on this body lock setup.
Nick Heflin on top of Davis Asare. It's Lovato Jiu-Jitsu versus New Wave Jiu-Jitsu here in Oklahoma. This is Bricktown. We're live at the Criterion here in Oklahoma City. Once again, don't forget we have another prelim match following this, which will be free on YouTube and Facebook. And then we'll go right into the main card, which will be exclusively on FloGrappling.com. Back into that closed guard position, Chase, and you see Davis doing, he's trying to control the top, trying to get some underhooks, trying to get some control here, but Heflin doing a great job of just kind of shutting him down.
Be ready, step your left leg over on that.
Yeah, and this is where the experience factor may start to shift in favor of Heflin in some ways. When you can't get into your game plan, you start getting flustered a little bit, especially on a big stage if you're not used to being there. Heflin's been there for a long time, and he can weather the storm and get out of bad spots and not maybe get too concerned. Where if Asare doesn't get where he wants to be too quickly, he may start to abandon a game plan. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it could be the case. We'll see.
Try your cuts, try your cuts, try the knee
Sorry,
cut, try the
looking
knee
for
cut.
those legs constantly.
You can
Just
see he
trying-
wants that straight ankle uppercut. He was chasing that thing.
Absolutely. Heflin did a great job of just evading those leg lock entries. We're going to take a look at the judges' favor.
Now take the head, take the head.
Judges favor, blue.
Make your movements, Hef. Nice.
So there we have
Side to
the
side.
first
Both ways.
judge's favor of the
Don't go in
night. And for
front.
those of you who
Don't
have
unlock it.
not
Don't
seen a
unlock it.
WNO or it's been a while, judge's favor is not the markation of a round or points. It just shows you at this point in the match where our judges believe the momentum is, who might be ahead. It doesn't actually count as a score of that kind.
Yeah, and I think the favor going towards Davis was because he's had a couple bites on those legs, right? You know, Heflin did a great job of that forward roll, but didn't really have a submission locked. It wasn't a compelling submission attempt. You know, Asare was actually able to snag that leg and force Heflin to escape. So that's what we would call kind of like more of a compelling submission attempt.
But still, thin margins, I
Yeah.
want to say at this point. It's tough to see how Heflin might get ahead, right? He's kind of stuck in his closed guard or explosive in open space, but not able to secure position. But let's see.
Just under 9 minutes to go in this match. Nick Heflin inside the closed guard of Davis Asare.
Up and open again.
Asare recently relocated to Austin, Texas to train with New Wave Jiu-Jitsu and Gordon Ryan, John Danaher.
Nice arm drag from bottom there, but Heflin able to recompose in better position there. And I like the weight Heflin is putting on Asare on top, making things very uncomfortable. Not risking too much, but shutting things down.
Yeah, he's staying in the pocket and just putting a ton of pressure on Asare. He's not posturing up. He's not, you know, exposing himself. He's not exposing his arms, keeping things really tight. You know, it'll be interesting to see how he actually tries to open the guard from here as opposed to controlling. But, you know, he's got Lovato in his corner. We see the legend Shanji Ribeiro as well in the corner of Nick Heflin here. So I imagine he's got something up his sleeve.
And look at the head control, the head pressure from Heflin. That's that wrestling pedigree showing off right there. Making things very gritty, uncomfortable, and also demonstrating and enforcing a lot of control. You know, you put your forehead on someone's chin with all your weight behind it, they're going to look in that direction. It's very uncomfortable.
Yeah. And, you know, for Asare, too, this is probably, obviously being on the bottom against a good wrestler is where you want to be. In the closed guard, maybe not so much, because it's kind of hard to sweep some of those, you know, guys with those higher level wrestling pedigrees. I know just in training, it's every time you get that college wrestler that comes into class, that even at a wipeout, it's sometimes tough to reverse. But, you know, Asare, as I said, got a good camp. I imagine he's got something up his sleeve. Heflin's got to be careful, because every time Heflin is trying to get up, you see the attacks coming. Look at Asare shooting that triangle. Yep. Yeah, it's risk versus reward here. Asare working towards the back on Nick Heflin.
Yeah, that was really slick there. Nice work. And now starting to set up some choke attempts here, some hand fighting. And now the experience definitely shifts in favor, unquestionably. Not just the back control, but also the hand fighting from the back is a unique skill, and something they practice over at New Wave quite a bit.
Yeah, that back control, back attack system of you know, getting the back and just trapping those arms systematically, shutting down all defenses before you can be working the offense. It's just you know, basically become the new.
He's thread the. It looks like it's over the chin, but that might be tight. The hand is wavering. Oh, he survives for now. Makes the adjustment though.
Yeah, Heflin was just about to tap there. That was very, very
But he's not
close.
fighting the hands, but his shoulders are to the mat. He might be out of this.
Nice escape by Nick Heflin here. But Asare works his way to the mounted triangle position.
Ooh, that choke was tight though. The hand fluttered for a moment, but Nick realized there wasn't enough there. Survives for now.
I think, you know, like a tough wrestler, he grinded it out. He drew some energy from the local Oklahoma crowd here and said, I'm not going to tap to this. He's going to have to break something off, and he was able to withstand that and eventually get out. Asare now dismounts, gets the side control. The one thing that Gordon Ryan was saying in the pre-show, Asare's got a really, really strong Darce choke. So Heflin's got to be careful here. That's actually the position that you know, Asare got pretty famous for in training with Gordon Ryan.
Plenty of time to find some. It's time to turn up though. We got to get aggressive. Get aggressive.
Back to the feet now. Asare elects to
Sit down.
Gotta go for it. Don't stay back. We can't come down on our knees, Hef.
Yeah, it's very obvious
No
that
time to waste, Hef.
the path to victory for Asare is going to be looking for that back. That's what he wants. He's tried it a couple times now. He was successfully able to get there once before. But let's take a look at the judges' favor coming up in a sec here.
I think this one will be pretty easy to predict.
Judges' favor?
There we have
Blue.
Davis Asare taking the judges' favor for the second time with that strong back attack, and a quick look at the choke. Definitely putting things in his favor in a significant way. But there's still some time here. We have 5 minutes, and things are getting a little slippery. You never know where Nick Heflin may find his opening.
Yeah, a lot can happen in 5 minutes.
Especially with some explosive movements like that, right?
Yeah. Those flying, rolling guillotines, you know, front headlocks. It's a great way to bypass that guard, especially when you have a dangerous leg locker. It's a very smart strategy. You got to use a little bit of athleticism. And it's a little bit of risk versus reward because you don't know the reaction of the person on bottom if they're going to spin to the top position before you. But Heflin feels very confident in that pass and looking to bypass the guard of Davis Asare, who's now back underneath.
Got a pair of legendary corners in the mix here. We have in Heflin's corner, we have Rafael Lovato Jr., our co-main event tonight with Chandra Ribeiro, Gordon Ryan, and John Danaher in the corner of Davis Asare. So pretty star-studded event in our first match of the night, both on the mats and next to them.
3 minutes, 40 seconds left. Heflin on top, trying to control, looking for an opening to pass on Davis Asare. Very, to be honest, I'm very impressed by both of these athletes in this matchup so far. I think Heflin, despite maybe not being, you know, leading this match right now, we see a lot of cool athleticism. But Davis Asare is just looking, you know, he's riding that hype and he's doing really, really good so far.
Don't stay, don't stay, don't stay. Jump around, jump around.
We got about 3 minutes left in this match. Asare using those double hooks, trying to get inside the legs of Heflin. Heflin backing out. Again, that's exactly what I was talking about earlier. It's risk versus reward. When you do that flying guillotine roll, that flying front headlock roll, if the person's able to react and get on top, you basically, you blew it. It's very, very tough, but you got to make those risks. You got to take those risks, especially in a sub-only match when there's 2 minutes and a half left. So props to Heflin for going for it, and that's exactly what we want to see here at Who's Number One. We want to see people going for it. We want to see them trying. Even if they end up losing, they have to go for it. They have to give their all. They have to perform.
Let's go, Nick, 2 minutes.
Overall, there's been a very high work rate throughout the entirety of this match. Pretty impressive with that. We see Davis start to enact a little bit of passing, but I think Nick may be able to scramble back to his feet here. He's got plenty left in the gas tank. There's Nick Heflin. We're going to see another flying attack, I believe.
Yeah, we got less than 2 minutes. We could see 2.
Put him down. Right arm, right leg, same time.
Yeah, as you know, this is a who's Number One rule set, sub only, so there's no points, deductions, or anything like that. But you know, we have to see activity. We cannot see too much passivity, or there will be penalties and possible disqualification. Thank goodness no one's been DQ'd in Who's Number One yet, and I don't think we're going to have that in this match. But Heflin's got to be careful to not walk away too much from Asare.
Let's go.
No, he's mixing plenty of explosive attacks there with the distance management. And I think this is a bit of a lesson here for grapplers at home or Asare himself. You know, if someone doesn't want to engage you, they don't necessarily have to run away. They can run over you, jump over you, run past your guard,
run through you.
You know, the guard can be very difficult to maintain against someone like that.
I like what Heflin's doing is sometimes Asare will tangle up like one leg and then he'll just go right through with like kind of like flying knees forward. It's not something you normally see. Sometimes they'll spin to the right or left, but that exposes the heel, which is what he does not want to do.
Oh, this is dangerous now. This is dangerous. We have 40 seconds left here, but Asare chooses to come up. Surprised he didn't chase maybe a submission attempt there. So much little time. But in any case, he's definitely ahead, I would say, in the judges' eyes. Let's see if he sits back on anything now.
Yeah, it looked like he sat back there for a second, but you know, let go of the ankle there. Now trying to elevate, looking for maybe a little shoulder crunch. Very famous position made popular by Mr. Gordon Ryan. And again with the flying and pass attempt by Nick Heflin.
But also a neutral reset, right?
Yeah.
Like he gets out of kind of a dodgy situation and now is thrown back with attacks of his own. And I would like to eat whatever Nick Heflin did today.
Yes.
But next time I go out and compete, because he is ready to go.
And that is it. Time has expired. Nick Heflin, you know, several attempts on the pass, you know, high-flying submission attempts. Davis Asare gets to the back, was able to control, attack the legs several times. Asare going over to talk to Mr. John Danaher, getting some cues, and you know, Nick Heflin going back to his corner. Let's take a look at the replay here. There it is again. You see Heflin doing a great job of evading those leg lock attacks. Very smart strategy. Went back to the feet, and Asare was actually in on a single leg for a split second. And then from the continuing of the match, all on the ground, you know, Asare was able to get to that back take, eventually work his way to the mount. Did an excellent job attacking, controlling, and you know, I think it's safe to say that Asare is going to walk away victorious. A very impressive debut here at Who's Number One. We saw him counter that flying headlock roll there by Nick Heflin. Asare doing a great job overall.
And we'll take it to the referee here for our official decision.
And your winner is, by decision, Davis Asare!
Yeah, as we mentioned, you know, very obvious who's going to take away that win. Davis Asare, very impressive Who's Number One debut. Overall, great matchup.
Yeah, Davis Asare living up to the hype. And I think we'll toss it over to our winner here, Kendall Rusing. She's not.
Do you have another mic for her? Yeah, we're gonna head back to Kendall for an interview with Davis Asare. We had a little mic malfunction there, but we'll be right back in just a second. Very impressive match, as we said. Looking forward to hear what Mr. Davis Asare has to say.
Look at this arena, by the way.
Yeah, it's very cool. You know, packed arena, a lot of Oklahoma City residents here for Lovato, Heflin, Troy Russell. Let's take it over to Kendall Rusing for a word from our winner.
All right, Davis Asare here with an amazing non-stop match. Congratulations. How does it feel to have such an exciting match on your debut of Who's Number One?
Feels great. This is the biggest stage I'm being on right now, so I'm super stoked. Unfortunately, I didn't get the finish though, but hopefully I can get back to training and fix that.
And we've seen you a lot on some big stages lately in the local tournaments and ADC, putting on a great performance in the ADCC Opens. And obviously we talked a little bit yesterday about wanting to change your legacy a bit, right? Wanting to change your legacy around what you're known for as far as submitting Gordon in training. So we got a little bit of a taste of that tonight, right? What can we expect moving forward? What are you going to be known for? What can we expect next time you're here on the Who's Number One stage?
So yeah, as you said, I've gotten a little boost on social media because of Gordon. And I'm super thankful, obviously, but I would like to showcase my skills, show that I'm actually good at jiu-jitsu, show that I can finish people, and the mission is to qualify for ADCC and then kick it. Yes.
Well, we'd love to see that too. You did an amazing job tonight. Congratulations again, and we'll be right back.
Designed to evolve, built to empower. Visit Tezos.com to learn more.
And for those of you at home, join the conversation with other jiu-jitsu fans on our FloGrappling Discord channel. Become a part of the community by scanning the QR code on your screen.
We'll be right back with our next match of the evening in Oranday versus Troy Russell. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
out of the blue corner, training out of Lumberton, Texas, representing Oranday Brothers Jiu-Jitsu, Austin Oranday.
Making his debut, we have Austin Oranday wearing the cowboy hat, bringing the flair. Austin is a standout on the U.S. circuit, seeing him competing basically every single weekend. Great black belt career, and he wants to make an impact tonight, make an impact on the pro scene. But he has a tough challenge on his hands with rival Troy Russell.
Gotta love the Johnny Cash remix by Austin Oranday here in Oklahoma.
And out of the red corner, training right here in Oklahoma City, representing Lovato Jiu-Jitsu, Troy Russell.
We have another Lovato Jiu-Jitsu teammate, Troy Russell. Another debut here at Who's Number One, and he's got his hands full with Austin Oranday, Chase Smith.
Yeah, these two have a history. As mentioned, they've faced each other before in the IBJJF. 2-1 is the record for Troy so far. He holds 2 wins, no gi. Austin Oranday beat him in the gi. I believe every match has ended in a finish one way or the other, so they know it's going to be fireworks. Let's see our tail of the tape, Ricardo.
All right, in our welterweight match, Austin Oranday, 24 years old, 6 foot, 170 pounds. Troy Russell, 29 years old, 5'10", also 170 pounds.
We are underway, Ricardo. This should be, wasting no time going straight to the guard. Is Austin Oranday.
Yeah, Austin Oranday pulling guard immediately, getting right into that closed guard. Troy Russell lifting up. Of course, there is no slamming from this position.
It also raised the hairs on the back of my neck on that movement as well.
Yes, yes. As we mentioned, Troy Russell, teammate of Rafael Lovato Jr. Austin doing a great job of reversing the position. Nice little switch to the body lock there, and be able to get Troy down to his back and inside his closed guard.
Yeah, that was really smooth work there from Austin Oranday to get on top. Troy opens the guard. Let's see if he elects to play from bottom or try to wrestle up. So far, entering into the reverse daily heated position here. He does have some pretty slick leg locks, but it's Austin that drops back instead. Hard to see from this angle what exactly he might have.
Yeah, Austin in the pre-fight show mentioned he doesn't want to just be known for his leg locks, but we're about a minute or so in, and that's what we're seeing here. Leg lock battle once again.
And we're gonna have a quick reset there. Like we said, we knew these two were ready to throw down. Leg lock exchange, just a minute into this thing. Already reversal positions as well. And Troy's in a great spot to make something happen here.
Oh, the dreaded referee restart. It never goes well,
Nope.
Chase. It never goes well. It's always controversial, but hopefully our referee, Vinny's gonna get things going. He's got to take a little bit of, yeah, he's just got to get it going. You just can't sit there and argue with the athletes. We just got to get things started. And right away, Troy Russell turning.
Oh, he's on the heel now.
Yeah.
He's made the adjustments.
We have a shootout
The knee
here.
line's free though. We see Austin looking to maybe fire back on his own, but position's a little loose right now, a little funky out there.
Yeah, not a lot of control with the legs, sort of surrounding, just a little loosey, as you said, Chase, but now transition right back to 50-50. Nice little roll to that entry there by Austin Oranday. Now, if this was gi, it would be so much easier to control, but no gi, looking for those heels as usual.
Oh, there's another look at a heel look, I think, from Troy, but as he drags the arm across, there it is. That
Troy has
looks
a nice
like a legitimate
bite
threat. The knee looks to be inside, but I don't see a lot of panic from Austin Oranday here. He looks to separate the feet. And now he's... Oh, he switches legs. But Austin looks to be pretty much free, maybe trying to dive under here. Definitely very calm in those exchanges was Austin Oranday. And now we see Troy on top now. Some deep waters though for Austin Oranday as he Survive some serious torque on those legs. Troy now is on top. Slowing down a little bit, being very methodical with his approach. We see some K-guard here. This is the beginnings of it from Austin Oranday as he shifts back to more of an open guard position.
Yeah, we talk about compelling submission attempts. That's what I was talking about. We saw some really compelling
nice inversion from Austin Oranday there. We're right back to it, Ricardo, not to interrupt.
No, you heard my compelling leg lock speech, and he went right for it.
And now Troy looking a little complacent here as he's sitting back and letting Austin make the adjustments on the leg lock. When you get tired out there, you can't slow down because that's where they solidify and finalize these positions.
Yeah, Troy's getting into deep water here. He was kind of initiating a lot of those sequences, as you mentioned earlier on, but it looks like Austin's got both legs wrapped. He's got the leg stretched. He had control of the heel, but looking to kind of get back to that heel again.
There's the heel. He's made the switch right there. Goes back on the heel.
Troy just looks to be slipping out of all of those leg entries.
Yeah, they're both very comfortable. I believe something Austin Oranday mentioned. Okay, definitely a leg lock shootout here. And they're also reaching the edge of the mat. I like to see a reset as soon as things slow down. Okay, now they're rolling back towards the inside, so we're all right now.
Yeah, we're going to have the judges' favor in less than a minute. And this is a tough one to call because they've both been kind of shooting out. But I feel like Austin's had some stronger bites.
I don't know.
On
I
those
thought
legs.
Troy had the stronger bite. Now
he
definitely does.
Definitely gets the submission. Troy Russell submits Austin Oranday with a beautiful heel hook. Wow. Oklahoma's own Troy Russell gets the win. It is who's number one.
The crowd is fired up here. Troy Russell has got the finish. Great showing from Austin Oranday, though. Also happy to see him on his feet. He's limping a little bit, but looks mostly okay. I can't wait to see a replay there in a minute here of that finish. That was incredible.
Yeah.
Here it comes. You see the initial reversal there, the body lock from Austin Oranday. Then we enter these leg lock shootouts. It's tough to even know which point of the match we're looking at here. Now we know that we're towards the end as they approach the edge of the mat. We saw that reset here. I believe this may be close to the final sequence. Yes, it is. Gets the finish, wraps the heel. Boom, that's all she wrote, Ricardo.
Yeah, amazing job by both athletes, but Troy Russell gets the heel, gets the win, gets the submission, and that's the sort of match we'd love to see here at Who's Number One.
And your winner is, by submission, Troy Russell!
Amazing debut by Lovato Jiu-Jitsu's own Troy Russell. What a way to make a debut here on Who's Number One. Heel hook submission, and even better in front of your hometown crowd.
Yeah, great show. Respect there between the athletes. We see Austin going over to greet Shanji and Lovato. And let's throw it over to our winner here with Kendall Rusing.
All right, we are here with Troy Russell, Oklahoma City's own submission victor of the evening. You have a huge crowd here supporting you tonight. Very, very happy for you. What would you like to say back to them before I go into the submission win? What does it mean to you to be here winning in your hometown tonight?
It means everything. I love all my people. Thank you all so much for being here. Such a big night for Oklahoma Jiu-Jitsu. Being on the same card as my brothers, it means the world to me, guys.
And for your submission win victory, you have also earned a Tez submission bonus. So you get some extra cash there. So walk us through a little bit about what was going on in your mind during that match, because you guys had so many leg lock shootouts go off the mat, back on the mat. We were worried about whose legs were popping when. To walk us through what was going on at the end there.
Well, he popped my legs, I popped his. His leg locks have gotten so much better. I knew that Austin always brings it. That's why I wanted the match with him. Such a stud. And the improvement on both ends was huge, right? We've both been working a lot. So it was incredible to feel that. I even thought during the match, like, holy shit, he would have tapped to this last year. This year he didn't. Tried to step it up, tighten my mechanics, and go ahead and use some braking force. So we got it done.
Got it done. All right, amazing job tonight. Thank you so much. Congratulations. We'll be right back.
Prelims that we've been watching here on Facebook and YouTube. Go ahead and join us on FloGrappling.com or download the Flow Sports app to continue on as we go through who's number one. We'll be right back after this break. See you there.
It's built to be The Tezos blockchain is designed to be different. It's built to be powerful, but flexible, allowing even the most rigid of frameworks to evolve and update over time. It's a network built to last, designed to seamlessly adapt to the mysteries of tomorrow. Stronger today than ever before, and even stronger tomorrow. When great new ideas emerge, Tezos will be ready. And so will you. Tezos, designed to evolve, built to empower.
I'm on my way home. I'm on my way back to stay. I can't do without you another night. Oh, baby, I'm on my way home.
The sport of jiu-jitsu provides so many with a bigger purpose. Jiu-jitsu becomes a part of you. You're faced with so many challenges in the sport, but skin infection shouldn't have to be one of them. And that's our mission. Defense Soap was created out of the need to fight back, because we care about this sport, the families, the athletes, the coaches, and we want to continue to protect people from skin infections, to keep you on the mat. And that's our goal here at Defense Soap, to defend what you have built.
It's everything.
You go ahead and send that direct message. I reply after I get my invoice from Flo. We go out and have a nice dinner or something.
All right, so my man over here, you just got a fat tire keychain. Congratulations. And everybody else out there, I mean, that's probably how you shoot your shot, right? Okay. All right, question number 2. The Who's Number One championships were held September 2021. There have been 5 champs crowned since then. Name one of them. Who did you just say? He said Cain Rotello. I didn't hear anybody else, so Cain Rotello is one of the champions. We also have Maestro Bastos, Rafael Aguirre. Wait, who?